And hello, we are live for the book launch of Oron Amular, Rite of Passage. If you're there, give us a wave, let us know.
I'm waving.
So I'm here with Lucy. She's going to be asking me lots of questions later, so I hope you've all got your questions ready. You excited for this, Lucy?
I am very excited. We have been looking forward to this for quite a long time. A bit disappointed that we couldn't be in Heifers with surrounded by lots of lovely books and all the professionalism, but I am very pleased that I didn't have to get a babysitter and I don't have to pay for parking.
Absolutely, yeah. We're looking on the bright side. It was going to be amazing. It's still going to be amazing. But if you're there, give us a wave, say hi, give us a comment, and we'll be starting properly in just a couple of minutes. All right. So hello again and a very warm welcome to the virtual launch of Oron Amular, Book 2, Rite of Passage. My name is Michael J. Harvey and I'm the creator of The World of Astrom and the author of the Oron Amular trilogy. And I'm here with...
Lucy Harvey. I am Mrs. World of Astrom, number one fan, devoted wife. Yeah.
Hello guys, hello Rob, hello Sue, hello Doug, thanks for joining us, great to have you with us.
Hi Decca as well, and Ian, hello
everyone.
Love you.
So good to have you here with me, thanks for logging on. If you're watching and can hear me okay, give a wave or a comment, say hello. I'm still new to this whole live thing, but apparently every like, comment and share helps to make it more visible to others. So get liking and sharing, help me do this in style.
Hi, Danny. Hi, Trudy. Thank you for joining.
Great to have you here. Thanks for coming.
Hi, Joe. Hi, Becky.
Thanks, everyone, for coming. Now, the first thing you all need to know tonight is that I'm doing a prize giveaway during the launch tonight. In fact, there are going to be several prizes up for grabs, so stay tuned and get involved. First up, to win a free signed copy of the book, all you have to do is tag a friend in the comments feed. Anyone you think should read this book or even just likes a good adventure story, tag them now. You can get up to 5 entries. That's 5 entries into the draw. So tag them now and we'll announce the winner later on. Good luck.
Hi, everyone who's joining. Hi, Bev.
We got Rob, we got Charlotte there. Thanks so much for being here, everyone. It's fantastic to have you all out. I really appreciate it. So tonight is all about my second book. It's called Rite of Passage.
It's pretty and orange.
We like the cover. We do like the cover. It's the second part of the Oron Amular trilogy. It picks up the adventure where book 1, The Call of the Mountain, leaves off. So here is the fantastic cover design, which I love because it combines many of the things I love. Mountains, sunrises, birds of prey. Now, the figure you can see here is King Cerulean, who is poised partway through his epic quest. And we all want to know what happens next. And yes, mountains are going to feature heavily in this book.
You've got a bit of a thing about mountains, haven't you?
A little bit of a thing about mountains, yeah. So don't forget to tag your friends for a chance to win the free prize giveaway. You get up to 5 entries, so keep them coming.
Wow, Joe Philpott, you are tagging away. Good for you.
We've got a leader. Okay, now to get us all on the same page, Lucy is going to read us the blurb from the back of the book.
So, Cerulean, King of Maristonia, is on a quest to find the lost mountain, Oron Amular. Elven Princess Suria, an old ally, has been captured by his enemies. She alone can secure his passage through ancient Kalamar, and without her help, his journey can go no further. With his best and most trusted knight, a mysterious and unpredictable wizard, and a picked band of warriors, Cerulean must find a way to rescue his talisman and win through to the mountain, or else renounce his quest for power unimaginable.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
All right, now
sounds suitably epic.
I'm not sure if this is going to work. We're going to try playing the trailer video if you haven't seen it already. So let's give this a go.
musical interlude while we wait.
Let's try this.
It's a good video. And that was the musical interlude.
All right, I don't think anyone could actually see that, but I hope you enjoyed the soundtrack. It's one of Mark Petrie's best. If you haven't seen the trailer, you should definitely head over to the World of Astrom channel on YouTube, give it a watch. And I want to say a big thank you to Matt Allen, who did all the videography and editing of that. It is fantastic. Thank you very much, Matt. Moving on. So there's still time to enter the free prize draw for a copy of the book. Keep tagging your friends. Maybe you get up to 5 entries.
Joe Philpott, except for you, you have used all of yours.
No more 5, Joe. Hi, Trudy. Hi, Danny. Hi, Ian. Thanks for being here. So within the next 10 minutes, we'll be announcing the winner to that one, and there will be other competitions coming up. But first of all, the most important question, who wants to buy a copy of the book? It's available at all good online shops. Sadly, though, because of the lockdown, the actual bookshops aren't open yet, which is a bit of a downer. So online, it's mainly available as an ebook. So if you want paperback, you need to come straight to me. Okay, so give us a comment. All you have to do is tell me you want one. I'll put you on the list. That's all you need to do, and I'll get it out to you. But by coming to me, you will get a personalized signature copy, signed and dedicated by the author.
Very nice.
But there aren't many left, so get in quick.
Yeah, and let us know what you want your dedication to be, if it's for anyone specific. Otherwise, Mike will probably just write it to you, and then, well, you'll have to buy another copy for that person you wanted to give it to.
Absolutely.
What a shame.
All right. So, hi, Anna. Nice for you to join us. Hi, Decca.
Brilliant. So, sorry, total brain fart there. Hello, everyone who's been joining us. Hello, Malcolm. Hello, Sarah. We've just done is we've had the blurb. Mike and I have watched the trailer for book 2. Everyone else has heard the trailer. Now I'm going to ask Mike a few more questions about his experience as an author. We're all going to get a chance to quiz him later, and we will ask you for your questions later on. But right now, I'm asking him a few questions of my own. So, Michael, how did you get here? Tell us a little bit about your story as an author.
Okay, thanks, Lucy. So when I published my first book last November, it was the culmination of a 17-year quest for me. From when I first had the idea for Oron Amular in secondary school to when I held a published book in my hand. So this was the first book that came out in November, and I can't tell you what it felt like to publish this after so long.
Such a pretty book.
Hi, Charlotte. Hi, Rob. Just praise God. Dreams really do come true. And many of you here with me tonight were also at the launch of the first book. So I'm still so grateful to everyone who helped make that one of the best nights of my life.
Yeah, thank you, Hill. You've just joined us. It was so lovely to see you at the first launch.
Yeah, people came from so far. It was amazing. You know, Ruth and Phil and Tom and Jav, you guys are amazing.
So is there anyone in particular that you'd like to thank for helping to get you here, other than me? Obviously.
Well, of course. We'll get there. So I'm thankful to everyone who's made this second book possible, and a lot of people have contributed to it. So firstly, to Malcolm Down and Sarah Grace, my amazing publishers, thank you for continuing this journey with me. To everyone who bought book one, after all, that's what it's all about. You've helped me launch my writing career, so thank you. And thank you for all the encouraging words along the way and for the amazing reviews. I've been blown away by the praise I've received in comments and reviews. You've been ridiculously kind and generous in your comments. And to hear my book described as fantasy at its finest, and even in the same breath as, what was it, if Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones and Harry Potter had a literary love child, I think, then you get Oron Amular, which, I mean, it doesn't get much better than that.
That's so brilliant.
Whoever made that comment, you're amazing. Thank you. But of course, my biggest thanks go to you, Lucy, and to my boys. They continue to stay patiently with me being the citizen of two worlds at once. And you give me all the time and love I need to do this writing thing. Thank you.
And we are so very grateful that the boys are asleep right now.
Long may it continue.
Hope and pray it continues. So it's not just a book to you, Mike, is it? So what's with this world of Astron? Why isn't your Facebook page Oron Amular? Why is it World of Astron? What's that about?
Okay, before I say that, hi Lana, hi Anna, thanks for joining us. It's great to have you here. As Lucy said, the book is called Oron Amular. That is just the novel set in the world. The world of Astron is where this all takes place. And it's a planet, an imaginary planet. And I've been creating it ever since my GCSEs, one rainy day in school. And I've been adding to it since, and it's grown in depth and vibrance ever since. The Oron Amular trilogy is, I hope, just the first of many novels to tell the stories of this epic world. I've got so many tales, so many characters and grades to share with you all in the years ahead. Just hoping I get there.
I hope so too. So what's new in book 2? Are there any cool features that your readers should look out for?
Absolutely. So had some really great feedback on the character list at the back. You'll be pleased to know that returns.
So we got character list at the back.
So it's your who's who in Oron Amular. I know there's a lot of strange characters with strange names, so keep a finger in the back there to remember who is who, and also how to pronounce their names.
Yeah, that's always helpful.
Definitely helpful. So yeah, it's Cerulean and Rujark are your main characters. But we're going to meet loads more characters in this book, so you're going to need this character list more than ever. But there's also a brand new feature in this book that wasn't in the first book. There is a guide to the peoples of Astron.
We have the races of Astron.
You should definitely check that out. Something to look forward to. So most people have some idea of what elves and dwarves are like, but check that out to hear my particular take on them. And you'll definitely want a bit more information on arms and harrocks, which are my own creations. Plus, where did mortals come from? Find out at the back of the book. You're going to have to pick one up.
That sounds cool. To those of you that are asking, if you want to enter the prize giveaway, you need to be tagging your friends. I can see that someone's asked how they tune in. Tag your friends. You've got five tags available to you if you want to win a free copy of the book.
Hi, Lucy. Hi, Bryce. Hi, Mum. Great to have you with me.
Hi,
Thank
Mandy.
you. Cool.
Brilliant. So if you've read the first book, please rate it and review it on Goodreads. So all of this sounds amazing, but seriously, Mike, why not just one book?
So yeah, sorry, it's actually 3, as you might have guessed from the word trilogy. The fact is, Oron Amular grew in the writing. Blame publishers for taking so long to take me on. That it grew longer and richer with every redraft. That's how I ended up with not just 1, but 3 books. So know that book 1 is already out there. Book 2 has just been released. And hopefully the plan is to have book 3 out by Christmas. It's called Power Unimaginable. It is the explosive finale.
Can't wait to see what colour that book is going to be.
I know, I'm already thinking, what is the cover design going to be? But as Lucy said, if you've got the first book, if you've read it, please rate and review it on Goodreads. It's quick and easy, and it really helps. Reviews are so important for showing other people that it's worth reading, telling people about it so they know about it. We don't want this book to be a well-kept secret. It just ensures maximum visibility and exposure online. So please review it. It doesn't have to be long or highbrow. Just say what you think. Even a rating is helpful. So please go to Goodreads and rate and review The Call of the Mountain. Now, for those of you who have read the first book, here's a little recap if you haven't read it. First, why not? Secondly, if you haven't, then I'll keep the spoilers to a minimum. So, in The Call of the Mountain, Book 1 of the Oron Amular trilogy, our adventure begins. Seeming chance has brought together the King of Maristonia and a mysterious wayfarer. In the city of Mariston, they join forces to answer the summons of Cluthiel, the Mage Lord, to a tournament at the Forgotten Mountain of Oron Amular. Lords, knights, and champions from many lands have been invited to compete at this ancestral home of high magic. The prize on offer, power unimaginable. It's proving irresistible to all those thirsting for adventure and power. King Cerulean is no different, though his motives might be nobler than some. Yet for all his strength and reputation, he does not know how to find the mountain. So the wandering conjurer Rujark offers his services as a guide, for he has business of his own at Oron Amular, and has received a summons of a different kind. Together they set out, and braving many dangers by road and sea, they embark upon the quest of Oron Amular. Yet they have not gone far before troubling news disrupts their plans. Circumstances force Cerulean to take counsel among the wood elves who live on his borders. Beneath the eaves of the ancient forest of Tol Ankil, he hears confirmation of news that has troubled him. Despite the misgivings of Lancois, his captain of guards, he pledges to rescue the elf princess Saria, who has fallen into the hands of the evil mountain-dwelling Harrocks. It is no longer quite so, but there is also opportunity to be found in this dangerous diversion. Right. I'm just going to thank a few more people for joining us. Rebecca, Steph, Christopher, Sarah, it's great to have you with us. Thank you so much for being here. Lucy, I think we are ready to do the prize draw, are we not? So the prize draw is now over. Any more tags will not be counted. And in just a moment, we are going to announce the winner. We have got Mr. James Roberts.
Woo!
I think I know who that is. So congratulations, my friend. You have won yourself a free copy of the book.
Well done.
Enjoy. I will get it across to you as soon as I can. Now, if you didn't win, don't worry. You've got another chance. Before I do my first book reading, here's a chance to win a free copy of the ebook version of Rite of Passage. I'm going to ask you all a question. And to win, all you need to do is provide the answer in a comment before anyone else.
All right, fingers on buzzers, people.
Lucy, you're going to tell me who first, okay? Everyone ready? The first correct answer will be the winner. Here is the question. In book 1, what is the name of Cerulean's? Again, that's in book 1. What is the name of Cerulean's wife? We'll announce the winner later. First correct answer wins the prize.
Question not at all thought up by the author's wife.
So while you're thinking about that, I'd love you all to like the World of Ashram Facebook page. I know many of you have, but if you're already, give it a like. Go along, you'll hear all the latest updates. Caroline, Roger, hi, Dave and Jackie. Hello, it's great to have you here. Thank you so much for ordering. We'll get your book to you soon.
Hi, Neil, as well.
Is that Neil Harvey? Or...
Yeah, Neil
Hey,
Harvey.
Neil.
Hi.
Great to have you. Got the family with me. And also, you can follow at World of Astrom on both Twitter and Instagram. There's loads of great content on there. So look me up and give me a follow. Now,
we have a winner. We have a winner.
Is that the first? Okay, should we just announce it now?
Yeah, do we want to announce it now?
Yeah, let's do it. Lana Jins, congratulations. You've won a free ebook of book 2. The answer is Carmen. who is the queen of Maristonia. She is regal, she is wise, she's not at all keen on this whole adventure idea. But she is the answer to that question. Congratulations. Well done.
Well done. Well done. Good going.
Okay, so we're just a few minutes away from question time now. So be thinking about what you'd like to ask. Put it in the comment feed now, and Lucy will pick up a few of them after the book reading, okay? So here's the first book reading. This is early on in the second book. We join our heroes as they forge a path up into the mountains, battling against wind, snow, and cold. True to the king's word, Lancelot roused them all while it was still dark. The barest glimpse around their improvised curtains told them it was still snowing, and that it had accumulated deeply on the narrow path outside. They awoke deeply stiff and unspeakably cold. It took a lot of stamping and flexing before Rujar could even feel his fingers and toes. They moved off carefully, practically wading through the snow, knowing that even a slight miscalculation could send them sliding down the sheer slope to their right. Sin Serin was back with them, but if she had gleaned any particular insights on her reconnaissance, she did not share it with them. Rujar was not merely miserable, but deeply worried. A child of the mountains, he had never known exposure like this. His experiences of snow had been limited to brief forays. During the heavy stuff, he and his father had kept snug inside next to the fire. He wasn't sure how much longer he could last in conditions like these. Full springtime might be burgeoning down on the plains below, but up here in the mountains, winter could re-exert itself whenever its capricious mood took it. Up ahead, he heard one of the guards complaining to Lancelot, "Why go back? We'll die in this snow without fire." Lancelot, though, was unmoved. "We will not go back. We will make use of this snow for as long as we can. Endure it, or be left behind." Whatever discomfort he himself was feeling, Lancelot, tough on all of them, was ruthless in dragging the others along with him. And so they plunged on, braving the snow as best they could. Several times they heard ominous rumblings above them, and were soon showered after with snow falling down from the cliff. On one such occasion, Elenus, the first volunteer, was nearly knocked off the path and into thin air, prevented only by the steady hand of Lancelot, who reached out and caught him. On an interminable stretch of time, their path seemed to bring them above the level of the Trough Valley's rim, for the ice-sheened rock wall on their left gave out. Shaking with cold, Rujar was dimly aware of gentler slopes stretching away into the blurry distance. All was white here, covered in snow deeper than any they had yet come across. An ill-judged step brought the snow up to his waist, and he had to be tugged out by two of the guards. He could no longer feel the deadly burn in his limbs, and an eerie numbness was starting to settle over his body like a suffocating blanket. He lost all awareness of where the others were in relation to himself. He barely heard the latest rumble, although it was louder than the ones before. A deep thrumming built up in his ears, soon accompanied by waves of crunching coming rapidly nearer. Too late he looked left, and his vision was filled with a powdery juggernaut. His feet were swept out from under him, his mouth and nose filled with snow, and he instantly lost sight of his companions. Terrified and panicking, he was carried along, now submerged in the snow, now just gasping clear. He was turned over and over and around until finally he came to a halt, thoroughly disorientated. By great luck, in his final position, he was only covered by a thin film of snow. Scrabbling frantically at it, he broke through and glimpsed the muffled grey of the world above. Fleeting relief was soon swamped by a lethargic blackness which stole over him. In the last few seconds, before losing consciousness, he heard soft feet crunching near him, and then, as his eyelids slammed shut, a pale shadow reaching down to him.
Oh my god, I want to know more. I want to know more. I feel really cold having like all that mention of snow and.
Did I take you there?
Yeah, I'm really cold now. But that was good. That was really. Oh, I'm really excited. I'm really excited to read the
Thank
next
you,
one.
Ben. It's great to have you here. Maddie, it's great to have you. And Liz, great to have you with us. Thank you so much. Okay, over to Lucy.
Brilliant. So it is now question time. This is your chance to ask Michael. I want to say anything, but I mean about the book.
To do with the book, well, yeah.
not anything. So thanks to everyone who's sent us questions. If you have a question, post it now, and I'm going to put them to Michael. So I'm going to start with Lena Grace's question. What real-life adventures or places have inspired the incredible landscapes of your books? Oh, Michael, he likes a landscape.
Yep, I am an adventurer at heart, and I've been blessed to be able to go on many adventures and see many wonderful places. I think particularly of hiking amid the ice giants of the Himalaya on the way to Everest Base Camp. Thankfully, I didn't get caught in an avalanche, but I did hear avalanches in the slopes up above me. So I got a feel for what it sounded like and what it looked like being up there on the roof of the world.
Oh, that's cool.
There are, the Grand Canyon, some of the river gorges in France, and deep, mysterious forests in other places. So in New Zealand, definitely.
Yeah.
When we went there together, there's so many inspiring places. I wouldn't necessarily put specific places in my world. If you want to know about what different parts of my world look, feel, and smell like, then go to the website. There's a lot of great content on there.
There's information on the smell.
All right, maybe not the smell so much, but you'll find out what these places are really like, and a close equivalent. So, for instance, Maristonia has quite a Mediterranean feel in terms of its climate, its lifestyle.
I would quite like to go there.
It'd be nice to live there. It'd be very cool.
Brilliant. Rob Allen's question: did you base any of the characters on your family?
Not directly, no. I have learned a great deal from the people that I love and just people that I've observed. I think you are able to write better characters when you meet great characters in real life, and you get inspired all over the place. And sometimes you just take little strands from here, from there, and craft a character from different sources. So no, not directly. But there are a couple of my dear old friends who were among the first to read the first draft who have characters named after them in the sequel, which is coming after the Oron Amular trilogy. So watch this space for more on that. Mandy, Chris, great to have you there. Thank you.
Brilliant. James, Robert, congratulations on winning the book.
Nice one.
How do you develop your characters?
It's a good question. I think I have to walk through the story with them. Before I'm actually writing it, I have to put them in different situations and find, just think about how would they react, how would they be shaped, affected by what they're going through. And I spend a lot of time writing backstories for them before I write the material. So, Cerulean is 600 years old, and so he's got centuries of backstory, and he's been shaped and developed by all of that. He's been exiled, he's fought in wars, he's lost people that he's loved, he's had great responsibility. So that all goes into the characters. And also it's a process of redrafting. I remember, Lucy challenging me on Rujark, who she just felt didn't stand up to scrutiny. She felt he was a little bit thin and shallow. So I worked really hard on him, and, just talking to other people to get a feel for, what is it that's lacking here? Give me some pointers. So people have really helped me develop those characters.
Yeah, we've definitely a lot of conversations between the two of us over the years. A lot of rereading, but a lot of editing. For the last 10 years, Mike's been mainly editing this book, and there's been a lot of development through conversations about it. And then more recently, other people, Pat Eisner, Mailer, have really been involved in helping to develop the world and the characters. Other people have helped as well, haven't they? Andrew Miller's question: who was the hardest character to write?
I think the elves are very hard to write because they're not human, so I have no immediate frame of reference for their experience. It's much less easy for me to put myself in their shoes. So Cerulean might be 600 years old, but Queen Desariel is more like 9 or 10,000 years old. So how do you convey that? That's really challenging. And also Rujark, just because I had such a clear idea of him in my head, but I really struggled to get it on paper in a convincing way. To take him on a journey, to build that character arc without him starting from too pathetic a starting point. When he's put next to Cerulean and Lancelot, who are just completely badass.
Yeah, why would you want to know Rougeot when you've got Lancelot there?
Yeah, that'll change though. That'll change.
Cool. Bev. Hi, Bev.
Hi, Bev.
So glad you could join us.
Thank you for being here.
Nick wants to know how you write. Do the characters come first? Does the story come first? Does it all evolve as one? How do you write?
I think the characters existed in a very sort of shallow 2D form first, alongside the briefest, sort of sketchiest outline of the story as a whole. And then I developed the story in more detail, and that's when I realized what characters I need and where these characters are going to end up. Now, I used to just write. I used to just sit down at my laptop and just type and just see what came out. And it was great fun. I really enjoyed it because I was reading as well as writing. And I had no idea what was going to come next. But that didn't really work for getting a book published. So now I exhaustively plan. You should see the Excel spreadsheets. They're quite frightening, actually, where I plan out, okay, what's happening on this day? How far does it take to get from there to there? All of this stuff, I have to really, really work at it. So sometimes I can be months on end just planning before I set pen to paper. But then the writing flows much more quickly. But even then, I've got a constant cross-reference to make sure that it all makes sense, that nothing is contradicting anything else.
Good. And Hannah Dodds asked, do you have a character that you resonate with more than others?
Ooh, good question.
I like that. Good question.
Yeah, that's a good question. I think there are little parts of me in a lot of my characters. I am not in the book as myself, but there are little bits of myself. And as I said earlier, little bits of people that I've seen around me that I put into those characters. Now, it would be far too arrogant of me to talk about character traits to put in. But yeah, there are hints of in that.
Steph Ferrucci asks, once reached the peak of the mountain with the publication of the third book, will you be lingering in bliss for a while, or will you be looking for the next possible peak?
Always looking for the next peak. It's something I struggle with. Just enjoy the success and just rest and enjoy what I've done and what I've accomplished. So I think once book 3 is out there, I will definitely be taking a little bit of a break. But to be honest, I'm already planning. I'm already writing Starbane. That's
already working on the sequel.
That's the sequel to Oron Amular. It'll be twice as long. It'll be twice as good. It's going to be amazing, and we're going to see what happens, because really Oron Amular is just setting the scene for something much bigger. As Desariel says in the book, my heart forebodes this is just the start of great and terrible things.
So this really is the work of a lifetime, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's about 60 books I want to write, so I've got to get cracking.
You said something the other day, didn't you, about how many years it would take you to write all of the books that you've got in your head.
Yeah, this is why I need everyone to buy the book, so that I can actually afford to spend, full time doing this, and then I can maybe get out a book a year. Who knows?
That would be good. Then you could school run. That'd be great.
All right.
Doug Roper says, have you found it difficult having the first instalment of the story set in print now, while you've done the final work on the second book, and presumably remain hard at work in final editing of the third, that you can rework anything from the first?
Yes, that is a little bit of a thorn in my side, particularly
that's
when
quite a tension, isn't it? Having that tension between
it
the
is.
books,
but it's also quite liberating as well, to think that, okay, it's now set in stone. I can leave it, until such time as there's a clamour for a second edition. I don't have to change it anymore. It is what it is now, complete with its imperfections. One of my uncles has taken great delight in pointing out all the typos for me, so thank you. We've been working on those to get them sorted, but yeah, it's kind of nice to know that it's there and it can't be changed. But I do have to work hard to keep everything consistent with what's already gone before, and that's where my editor, she's fantastic. She's been helping me get that all sorted. But yeah, so I have a fixed point to refer to now.
Yeah, and this is just the first edition, isn't it? Who knows how it might change in future editions.
Hopefully much demand for it in the future.
So Jane Hughes asks, do you speak other languages? The character names are challenging. How did you come up with the names? They're quite French influenced, some of them, aren't they?
Some of them. There's French, there's Italian, there's Greek, there's Persian, there's all sorts of different influences. But I can speak a little bit of Kenyan, Finnamel Eres Solitaba. I'm just telling her how much I love her. I can't really speak much, but I have enough of a language that I can write in Elvish, and it also gives me the framework for developing character names that have consistency and meaning. So I know what a lot of the names mean. So Kamar means the beautiful country, and so there's lots of scope there for weaving that in, and you will find some Elvish quotations as you carry on into the book.
Yeah, Mike, sometimes I'll find him of an evening sitting there writing out names or names for places, or names for countries, or names for new races. And yeah, it's just, there's always something.
It's charitable of you to say you find me writing it. Sometimes I go around speaking them out loud and she thinks I'm crazy.
I'm used to it now.
They don't click straight away, but yeah.
Brilliant. Abby asks, what's your favourite part of the creative writing process?
Good question. I think I've mentioned this concept before. Imagineering is the stage before you plan. It's the stage before you do any writing, even, where you're just chewing over concepts in your mind. You're just playing with the building blocks of your imagination. Often I'll be out on a long walk in nature or hiking in the Lake District, and I'll have some epic music playing in my ears, and I'm just really transported to the place. And before I've got the pressure of actually having to do it justice in writing, where I may or may not nail it, I'm there. I can see it. That's my favorite part, is being there. And I'm not going to lie, a little bit of me actually believes it's out there somewhere. Maybe in heaven somewhere, I don't know. But I love that part of the process. Yeah, I enjoy a lot of it. But that first bit, the sort of, almost the sort of the conceiving stage.
Is that why you like going to the Lake District so much?
Partly, yeah.
Do you think you could probably put that down as a business expense in future years? So Lana asks, do you set time aside to write, i.e. a couple of hours in the evening, or do you work more ad hoc as and when you're creative?
It used to be a lot more ad hoc than it is now. And this is where I owe Lucy such thanks, because she does give me a regular slot on Monday evening. So
it is sacrosanct.
If you ever invite me to stuff on Mondays, I'm always going to say no, I'm afraid. That's writing night. That's when I know I've got 2 or 3 hours. I can just bash out some stuff and really get into the groove. I'm doing stuff all the time. Sometimes the kids are playing happily in the study upstairs. I'll just be drawing a map. I'll be working on a family tree. I'll be doing something. But yeah, just for actually writing, for planning, I need that solid time. So Lucy's fantastic in giving me that, and I repay by giving her another night.
It's fairly difficult with the children now, isn't it? Actually having proper set writing time. There's an awful lot of creative time, but not a huge amount of writing time.
Yeah, writing is quite a small part of the whole process, actually.
Matt Taylor asks, you mentioned a sequel to the trilogy. Are there any plans for prequel stories to elaborate on Astron's history? Good question.
Most definitely, yeah. I've gone after the Star Wars model. Started in the middle. We're going to finish it off. Then we're going to go back earlier. So drop me a comment if you want to hear more of Cerulean's backstory. What happens with him? That is the prequel. I'm not going to give away the title just yet, but there are so many adventures in Cerulean's youth. Guys, you haven't seen anything yet what this guy is capable of and what he's been through. It is epic. It's going to be amazing. So Malcolm and Sarah, I hope you're ready to publish that one as well, because I think the people want to hear it.
I want to hear that, definitely. He intrigues me. Oh, Rob Allen says spreadsheets.
Yep, someone's ears have pricked up.
Yeah, yep. Nick's ears have pricked up to that as well. Yeah,
lots of spreadsheets with many tabs.
Brilliant. Cool. Chris Hughes, I'm fascinated and impressed with the planning and all the angles you've taken to write the story.
Thank you, Chris. Yeah.
Brilliant. And Steph, again, how do the little ones react to the invented languages, i.e. Elvish?
They haven't had too much exposure to it yet. At the moment, Ethan is just going around saying, that's book 1. That's book 2.
Yeah.
So he's really enjoying it.
He likes the colours of the books, doesn't he?
Yeah. I think those of you who've read it will know that it's not really suitable for a 5-year-old yet. I've heard some people reading it to 8-year-olds, and it makes me slightly cringe. But you know what? If they can handle it, great. I don't come complaining to me if they have nightmares, though. You've been warned.
The first book is fairly mild. It really ramps up.
It's gonna get more intense. You've been warned. Okay, it's gonna get more intense. There's gonna be a little bit more fighting. It's gonna be cool though. So yeah, no, Ethan hasn't really been exposed to it much yet, but I definitely plan on dedicating it to both him and Luke in the future.
Anna Wilson, Anna,
hi Anna,
asks, besides being entertaining, what big ideas or concepts does the Oron Amular trilogy tackle? What do you want your readers to reflect on or take away from reading them?
That is a fantastic question.
From a fantastic person. We love you, Anna.
Absolutely. All right, so I think the first one is faith. Those of you who know me will know that I'm a Christian. I'm a man of faith, and I believe in making decisions based on faith, not fear. Now, I don't always live up to that, but that's what I aspire to. And I believe that's what Cerulean models. He lives out his faith. And right at the beginning, he gets an impression that he needs to take Rujak to Oron Amular. And some people would have refused. That he had no use for him. It wasn't part of his plans. He might have rejected that out of hand. He might not have even accepted the invite to the tournament. He might have backed out of it. But he lives with faith. And I just want to encourage readers to consider what it might be to live a life based on faith. That's not that I'm trying to convert anyone, but faith is an important aspect of life, I think. We'll also see themes coming through like sacrifice and forgiveness. So what are you willing to sacrifice? And when someone has really let you down, are you willing to forgive them? And do you believe in yourself to go the whole way? Will you get there? And that reflects my own publishing journey. Is, I could have given up a long time ago. And if I could say anything to the budding authors or artists of any kind out there, it would be keep going, keep chasing your dream, because it will come. It might take 17 years, but you will get there. Just do something every day that brings you closer to your dream. So Thanks, Anna. That's a great question. I'd love to talk to you more about that another time.
Actually, that is one of my quotes that I made and I sell in my book. I was inspired by Mike and by Mike's dedication to pursuing his dream was do something every day.
Yeah.
Do something every day to bring you closer to your dreams. So you've helped me. Thanks.
Thank you.
Sarah Harrison asks, who would play the characters if there was a film? We talked about this on the first launch night, didn't
question.
we?
Yeah, just
someone asked this question at the first launch, and Mike was a little bit thrown by it at the time.
I've been thinking about it since. I'm just getting my notes.
He's just getting his spreadsheet up of of who he would like, because he has thought about this one quite a lot. Would you be one of them, Mike? Would you want it to do a cameo?
I would definitely be a cameo. I'd be like what's his face,
Stanley,
or in every one, or Bernard Cornwell's featuring in the latest Last Kingdom. All right, Cerulean, I've been thinking could be played by Jim Caviezel. Not 100% sure about that one, but it could be there. Eddie Redmayne is absolutely nailed on for Rujak. You know what I'm talking about. He plays the sort of the intense, mysterious redhead very well. I'm torn between Michael Fassbender or Oscar Isaac.
Who's he?
He plays Poe Dameron in the latest Star Wars movies.
Oh, right.
He's also in Triple Frontier, I think. So he's not quite so well known, but Surimo, I've been thinking about Tom Cullen, who played Guy Fawkes on the BBC series. Andil, one of the guardsmen, possibly Henry Cavill. Let's see. Has anyone watched Vikings? Okay, the woman who plays Lagatha in that, she's amazing. She could be a brilliant Sin Serin, the Wood Elf. Jonathan Rhys-Meyer could be her brother, Sin Solar. I've got Paul Bettany down for Gerendane, the Watcher, who was actually a really fun character to write. I think he could be great there. If you haven't met him yet, you will at the end. There's someone that I've got Gerard Butler in mind for. So I've got a lot of really impressive, really beautiful people down. So I think I need
lots of hench people.
I need a few ugly characters as well somewhere along the lines. But
brilliant, cool. Well,
Joe Philpott, you're off now. It's great to see you. Thanks for being here. And Joe Swan, so you were here. Thanks for being here as well. Do we have Joe Swan's question?
I I know. But I think we've got most of the questions are done there, I think.
Okay.
So what is your...
All right, we've got another question there.
Oh, no, I've missed one.
This one, Anna Franklin. Hi, thanks for being here.
You said earlier that it's been described as a Game of Thrones love child. Can we expect book 2 to be more raunchy?
I'm afraid not. There will definitely be a bit more raunch, if that's a word, in the sequel. There'll be a lot more love stories coming up, but not so much in this trilogy. And I think a lot of people have found that quite refreshing. It's kind of nice to open a book and read a story where you're not going to be surprised by a red wedding kind of thing, or where there's just sex on every other page. So sorry if that's a disappointment, Anna. I will, there will be a bit of it later on, but not so much yet.
Brilliant. I think that's all the questions. If your question hasn't been asked,
Joe Swaddle, I think I saw you ask a question. If you wouldn't mind just retyping it quickly, then we'll get to that one.
Yeah, if we've missed any, we will circle round. But now we're gonna move on. You definitely need to check out the website worldofastrom.com. There's loads of great content on there. There's lots of information about the characters as well. There's quite a nice what do we call it?
There's a drop-down menu where you can explore the backstory of some of the characters. There's an A to Z for everything and everyone that appears in these books, and there are also country guides. So go to the website, sign up for the emails as well, because then you will be getting yourselves a guided tour. Strong.
Ooh.
Cool. You can also sign up on the Facebook page for the emails.
Oh, Lee Chambers. Hi, Mike.
Oh, hi, Lee.
Hi, Lee. Look forward to speaking to you tomorrow.
I am looking forward to it.
A lot of people who write trilogies say that the second book is the hardest because you're picking up storylines from the first book and trying to keep the momentum going for the third. Did you find this?
Yes, I did, actually. That's very perceptive. I think it was the thing that the Two Towers struggled with as well, that it had to pick up the things from the Fellowship of the Ring before everything got involved in Return of the King. So I definitely found that it was difficult to get back into exactly the same headspace and make sure I had understood precisely where each character was on their arc when restarting it. But it was also fun to leave it on a cliffhanger and people just, gagging to know what happened next, and just to build up some momentum ahead of this next book launch. So that was a lot of fun. And just in case anyone was wondering, yes, there is going to be an even bigger cliffhanger at the end of this book. So just putting it out there, be ready for it. And Lee, I can't wait to talk to you more tomorrow.
Yeah, really looking forward to hearing that as well.
Yeah, so that interview will be on Cambridge 105 at some point in the near future, and you should definitely check out Lee's podcast called Bookmark.
She's really cool, definitely.
Cool. Right, if there are any more questions, pop them down. We'll get to it after this book reading. And also, if you want to reserve a signed copy of the book, leave a comment now, and we will make a note to get you on the list so you don't miss out. So just pop your name down if you want a signed copy.
And as we've said before, obviously bookstores are not open at the moment. So if you want a physical copy, send Michael a direct message. Send a message to World of Astrom. Send a message to me if you want. We will sort that out for you.
Just tell us somehow.
We have the copies, but you can buy an ebook as well.
And also, if you go onto online, you're not going to get these really cool bookmarks either. So that's another reason why you should come to me.
They are genuinely really, really cool. We have a stash of these, and Ethan keeps finding them and being like, "These are mine. These are mine."
So I think it was Esther who did the design there. Great work. They look fantastic. Thank you for that.
Really cool.
So yeah, put your comments in if you want to get a signed copy. Now, this is the second and final book reading. This is my favorite of the lot, partly because it was so much fun to write, partly because I've just, I've been places like this. In fact, actually, you were asking earlier about real life places. There was somewhere in Nepal that reminded me of this, so I can write about it very authentically. And trust me, this gives you an excellent flavor of what this second book is going to be like. After a few more hours of tramping, they came back down to the rim of the valley and found that it had plummeted down no less sharply here than further down where they had lit. Its side was like a cliff dropping away beneath their feet. Looking out across it, They saw the same high ridge rising out of the valley floor, sheer and precipitous. They watched eagles launch themselves from eyries nestled in its impossibly deep sides to patrol the skies. Behind the knife-edge ridge, the opposite rim could just be seen, with rugged slopes rising. There would have been no way across but for the bridge. It was a rickety structure of ancient wood and rope, swaying and creaking in the breeze. None of the guards looked keen to use it. Cerulean and several others advanced up to it. Lancois tested the first plank doubtfully with his foot and jerked the rope handrail. They all watched the whole bridge shudder and jump about like a skittish colt, and nerves fluttered in their bellies. For Rougeac, though, there was a deeper dread. Apprehension flooded him, making all his senses tingle and the hairs on the nape of his neck stand on end. He scanned both sides of the gorge with deep misgivings. "Clearly this was not put here for our convenience," said Cerulean. "This bridge can only have been put here by the Haraks," mused Sincerin, "for the Suherai would need it not." "And yet they cannot use it often," observed the king. "See what bad repair it is in. If they do not like to come near the edge of the Snow Earl's territory, then perhaps there is some hope that we may cross in peace." Sincerin gave answer enough by remaining silent, doubt etched in her normally unreadable face. Lancois voiced his own thoughts. "Consider, my king, were we to cross, this would be our only retreat from trouble. I like not the thought of such a bottleneck at my back." He gave the bridge another speculative shove to emphasize his point. Cerulean nodded, acknowledging the fact. He looked to Sincerin, who seemed absorbed in private concentration. "Can you change?" the king whispered to his elven guide. Disquiet furrowed the elf's smooth forehead. "Would that I could," she whispered softly. "A hostile will pervades the valley, and I find my senses diminished in this strange environment. The chances of successfully completing even a simple morph are slim, and even if could, it would merely serve to announce our presence." Rougeac had not heard the elf's words, but he too sensed animosity in the air, even if he couldn't say what caused it. Having weighed up what both Sincerin and Lancois had said, Rougeac now saw the king turning last to him. In spite of his fear, he could not help but feel a stab of pride at being consulted along with such veterans. "Rougeac," Cerulean said to him, "you have been more attuned to danger than any of us on this journey. What do your instincts tell you?" "Well, it scarcely needs to be said that we are in danger, Lord, but I cannot tell from what quarter it will first assail us. All I know is that I feel sure our peril will increase with every step taken from now on." Cerulean went quiet, taking counsel last of all with himself. They watched him staring out across the chasm. He gripped the sides of the bridge with both arms, as if trying to gauge its reliability through touch alone. Finally, he swung round to look at them again. "We will cross." Rougeac's heart jumped in alarm. He had felt sure the king would veer away and find another route. But no, he actually meant to attempt it. Cerulean saw his doubt and the same doubt in the others, and addressed it. "Our quest lies on the other side of this gorge," he pointed across the gulf, "and I mean to fulfill it. And since I see no other way, we will tread this bridge." Even Lancois' devotion faltered in that place. "I implore you, Cerulean, do not." "I will not turn back," the king said sharply. His eyes glared out, challenging the fear in them. When he saw them hesitating still, he spoke again. "I will cross, alone if needs be." And with that he set foot to the first plank and trusted his weight to it. With hardly a falter he took another step, and another. It took barely a heartbeat longer for the magnetism of his will to drag them after him. Lancois started to him, and then the other guards. Trembling, Rougeac joined them, and last of all came Sincerin, as calmly as if she had meant to bring up the rear all along. One split-second glance down at his feet, and the gaping emptiness beneath convinced Rougeac not to look down again. Feeling sick and faint, he kept his eyes firmly on the guard in front of him. Gripping the sides fiercely, with both arms tense, he felt every vibration and wobble made by the others. The whole bridge seemed to lurch and bounce up and down like a living thing as they inched forward. His feet felt for the planks almost with a sense of their own. The planks were not as evenly spaced as he might have wished, and without the collaboration of his eyes, he more than once stumbled into a gap or lost his footing.
Each time his heart thundered and his head swam. There were stunning vistas to both sides, but they were completely lost on him. He would have closed his eyes altogether, but the gusting of the wind made him feel he would have been blown into oblivion if he did not keep them open. When he felt they were roughly halfway across, he started to feel a bit more composed. But then he realized the guard in front of him had stopped. Obliged to stop himself, he felt the vibration of footfalls fading away until it was just the natural movement of the bridge he could feel. Why had they stopped? Another glance down into the deepest recesses below brought all his panic to the surface again. Looking sharply up again, he repositioned himself marginally to be able to look up ahead, leaning out as far as he dared. They were situated in the greatest extent of the bridge's sag, and from that precarious position they had to look up quite a way to see the top. Someone was standing at the far end of the bridge. Short and stocky, a dark figure stood framed between the post and the sky behind. Rujark looked round as quickly as his nauseated state would allow him, and all was clear behind them. They could still retreat, but the king advanced instead, treading up the steepening gradient with bold determination. Then he stopped again, and Rujark saw why. More figures could now be seen, and still more, until they clustered around the bridge's exit in a forbidding obstacle. Back! Lancoir's shout, buffeted by the wind, barely reached him, but when Rujark and the others looked behind again, another figure, exactly the same as those in front, suddenly materialized to bar the entrance to the bridge. Both sides were sealed. They were trapped.
Dun dun dun.
There you go.
Want to know what happens next? You need to get yourself a copy of the book. That was brilliant. Thank you, Mike, so much for reading that.
Thank you all for being here to listen, and I hope now people are starting to see why I describe this book as a cross between The Hobbit and Indiana Jones. And yes, that risky bridge in Nepal when I was crossing over a flooding glacial river, terrifying. I know exactly how they felt.
Yeah, I didn't even like looking at that from the pictures of that bridge. Ian has asked, what are the costs for each book, including postage?
Okay, so ordinarily, the book costs £10, and postage costs just about £2, pretty much. It's like £1.97. But if you bought book one, you get it cheaper. You get it for £8. Okay, 20% off for people who bought book one, so that would be £10, including the postage. £10 for others. If you haven't bought either of the books, you can get the two combined for £18 plus postage.
Brilliant. There you go. Rebecca Lee, that answers your question earlier about buying books 1 and 2 together. So, there you go. Oh, and Sarah Grace says, I see an audiobook coming up.
Absolutely. I need to train my voice for that one. But yeah, I will be doing an audiobook.
That would be, yeah, can't wait for that. Brilliant.
Okay, any other questions we need to?
No, I think that's it now. So shall we move on to announce the prize winner?
All right, Chris and Mandy, if you're going now, goodbye. Thanks so much for being here. God bless you guys. All right, so we have already announced the prize winner. It was Lana, wasn't it? She got the question right.
Lana and James
Robert got the free book. Lana got the ebook. Fantastic. Well done. Okay, so the winner of the review prize. This was open to anyone who posted a review of book one on Goodreads in the last few weeks. There have been some wonderful reviews. Oh, we love you too, Matt. Thank you for that. There have been some wonderful reviews, so thank you to everyone who took the time to post one. Really, really appreciate it. It really means a lot when you're starting out on a new list. Thank you. There can only be one winner, though, and the winner is the person who wrote this. Let's see if you recognize your own words. I think I saw you on the feed here tonight. So this is what this person said. This is a fantastic book and really enjoyable read. The story is so engaging and I couldn't put it down. I am so looking forward to the second book in this series. Anna Slack, thank you very much. Well done.
And you said that you really wanted to get a copy. I was so tempted to say on there, like, you're going to get a copy.
We did the prize draw earlier with Ethan. He pulled your name out of the hat. So
that was so sweet.
He loved doing that. Yeah, he loved doing that. So Anna Slack, congratulations. You've won a copy of that second book. I will get a signed copy to you as soon as I can. But thank you to everyone who wrote a review. And please keep the reviews coming. And who knows, there will be other chances to win prize books in the future, I'm sure.
Definitely. Abby asks, you do an audiobook, who would be your go-to as a reader? It would be you, wouldn't it?
Well, I think anyone else is going to be willing to do it for free at this stage. But let's see. I mean, it would be great to get Tom Hardy to read it, but I don't think it's available just yet.
Oh yeah, let's do that. I mean,
no, not Tom Hardy. Tom Hiddleston. I think he'd be better. Thompson. Yeah. If you're out there, Tom, it'd be great to get in touch. Yes, I will be reading it, so I need to work on my voices, particularly distinguishing one elf from another.
Yeah. And how are your female voices? We haven't heard you do any female voices yet.
The Sincerin was a female.
True. Yeah, she was.
It's just slightly softer, slightly more mercurial.
Yeah,
but yeah, I struggle a little bit with the female voices. I'm not going to lie. I'll work on it though. So yeah, there may even be a podcast in the future for you to find out a bit more about Astrom's history. So Matt Taylor was asking about what came before. If it's not in the novels, there is going to be an extended blog series on the history of Astrom that I may well turn into podcast material as well, so you can listen to it or read it. So keep an eye out for that.
That would be very cool. If anyone's interested in World of Astrom podcast, do let us know. That would be a really fun future project. So if anyone would like that, let us know.
Brilliant. Now, this is the first time I've done Facebook Live. I set up a couple of questions and a poll. So the poll was, who is your favorite character? If you haven't seen that, drop a comment in the feed now. Who is your favorite character in book 1? And there are also some questions I'm keen to know. If you could describe Oron Amular in 3 words, what would those words be? Send the answers in on the postcard.
Cool. Well, we haven't had any more questions. We've been going for about an hour.
So
we've had all of our readings.
Thank you, everyone, for being here.
I think it's time to go.
I think it's time to go. Yeah.
I really enjoyed this.
Tell you what, should we just keep reading?
Let's
go on.
So if you want to buy the book, as we have said before, you can buy a real copy direct from us. Send Michael a message, send World of Astro a message. If you want a physical copy, or you can buy an ebook from all good online booksellers. You can read it and then review it if you'd like. Share it with your friends.
Really want to know what you think, so don't be shy telling your friends. When your books arrive in the post, when you've having ordered them, post a picture of it on Facebook, tag it, just make sure people are aware of it. You can help us spread this far and wide.
Just want to say, Christopher Hughes, so women are more mercurial. I'm not sure whether they'll like that. Ha ha, by the way, for the pun.
Hey, I wasn't saying all women are mercurial. I was saying that one character, Sincerin, is mercurial.
Yeah.
Nice.
But I like the pun, by the way.
Yeah. Well done.
Yeah, thank you so much, Michael, for taking us through the world of Oron Amular.
Thank you, Lucy, for being my amazing PA. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Guys, thank you so much. Happy reading. God bless, and see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.